student. In last lecture, we finished our second chapter, that is solution. In today's lecture, we are going to study how to solve the numericals based on solution. To solve those numericals which are given in your exercise for the solution chapter, first you should know about the important formulae which are used to solve those numericals. And here there is a list of some important formulae which will be useful to solve those numericals. So see the first formula according to the Raoult's law. As per the Raoult's law, partial vapor pressure of any volatile component is the product of vapor pressure of that component in a pure form and mole fraction of the component. That's why for first component P1 is equal to P01 x1, P2 is equal to P02 x2. P1 and P2 are the partial vapor pressures. P01 and P02 are the vapor pressures of the pure component, and x1 and x2 are the mole fractions. And that's why for the solution vapor pressure can be written as sum of partial vapor pressures. That's why P is equal to P1 plus P2, but P1 P01 x1 and P2 P02 x2. But here the sum of mole fraction x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, and so we can write x1 is equal to 1 minus x2. And that's why this formula can be written as P is equal to P01 as it is. For x1 we can write 1 minus x2 plus P02 x2. By multiplying P01 to the bracket term, it will become P01 minus P01 x2 plus P02 x2. By keeping x2 as a common term, this formula will become P is equal to P01 minus x2 in bracket P01 plus P02. The second formula belongs to the our first colligative property, that is lowering of vapor pressure, which is denoted by delta P. And as per the definition, delta P is equal to P01 minus P, where P01 will be the vapor pressure of the pure solvent and P is the vapor pressure of the solution, and difference between them is called as lowering of vapor pressure. As well as we studied another derivation, delta P is equal to P01 x2, where x2 will be the mole fraction of the non-volatile solute. Here the third formula belongs to the second colligative property, that is elevation in boiling point. Delta TB is equal to TB minus T0B, where TB is the boiling point of the solution, T0B is the boiling point of the pure solvent. Second derivation was related to this term was delta TB is equal to Kb into m, where m stands for the molality and Kb stands for the molar elevation constant. And as per the definition of molality, as per the expression for molality, we can write W2 upon M2 into W1 into 10 raised to 3. We studied already molality in 11th standard. So keep in your mind delta TB is equal to Kb into W2 upon M2 into W1 into 10 raised to 3. We studied this derivation also in our solution explanation. Then fourth formula belongs to the third colligative property, that is depression in freezing point. As per the definition, delta TF, that is depression in freezing point, is equal to T0F minus T. T0F minus T. T0F stands for the freezing point of the pure solvent and TF is the freezing point of the solution. The second derivation related to that was delta TF is equal to Kf into m, where Kf molar depression constant, m stands for the molality, and as per the molality we can put W2 upon m2 into W1 into 10 raised to 3, and that's why delta TF becomes Kf into W2 upon m2 into W1 into 10 raised to 3. Now the fourth colligative property was osmotic pressure, and as per the osmotic pressure derivation, pi is equal to mRT, where m stands for the molarity or the concentration, and that's why pi is equal to mRT. R is the universal constant, T is the temperature, pi stands for the osmotic pressure. But molarity or concentration can be written as N2 upon V, where N2 is the number of moles of solute and V is the volume. Number of moles of solute per unit volume is nothing but the molarity, and that's why formula becomes pi is equal to N2 upon V RT as it is. Now N2, that is number of moles of solute, can be given as given mass upon molar mass, that is W2 upon M2, and that's why formula becomes pi is equal to W2 upon M2 RT upon V. The next factor was the want of factor, that is I, and I is the ratio of observed colligative property to the theoretical colligative property, or the colligative property for the electrolytic solution to the colligative property for the non-electrolytic solution. And that's why I is equal to delta P upon delta P0, delta TB upon delta TB0, delta TF upon delta TF0, pi upon pi 0. Here 0 term indicates the theoretical colligative property or the colligative property for the non-electrolytic solution for the same concentration. As well as in terms of number of moles, we can put I is equal to n upon n0. N stands for the number of moles. N0, 0 means theoretical number of moles. Here n upon n, this capital N stands for the number of particles, and that's why n upon n0. Here n0 stands for the theoretical, n stands for the observed number of particles. Now, any colligative property inversely proportional to molar mass, and if any colligative property inversely proportional to molar mass, then I becomes m theoretical upon m observed. Otherwise, for all observed upon theoretical, but for molar mass, m theoretical upon m observed. Now, the last derivation related to degree of dissociation, and that derivation was alpha is equal to I minus 1 upon n minus 1, where I is the want of factor, n is the number of ions, alpha is the degree of dissociation. We can change this formula as alpha is equal to, for I we can put molar mass m theoretical upon m observed minus 1 upon n minus 1, and while rearranging this term, we will get the formula alpha is equal to m minus m0 upon m0 in bracket n minus 1. This formula is also important regarding your NEET JEE syllabus. So keep in your mind, all these formulas are very important to solve those numericals, not only in your board syllabus but also in NEET, JEE and CET syllabus also. So now we are going towards solution of first numerical, which is given in your exercise, and that numerical is, I will read the numerical first and then explain the solution of the numerical. According to the numerical, fish generally needs O2 concentration in water at least 3.8 milligram per liter. Fish needs O2 concentration in water 3.8 milligram per liter for the survival. What partial pressure of the O2 above the water needed for the survival of the fish? As per the explanation, here is the concentration of O2 in water is given, and that concentration is 3.8 milligram per liter. And at this concentration, what will be the partial pressure of the O2? We have to calculate, and that's why P is equal to question mark. Okay. Now, again in problem, there is extension. Given the solubility of the O2 in water at 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atmospheric pressure, partial pressure is 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 mole per liter. At 1 atm pressure, the solubility is 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 mole per liter. And we have to calculate partial pressure at this concentration. Means this concentration also belongs to solubility. This is the second solubility, this is the first solubility, and at this solubility we have to calculate the partial pressure. For this solubility, the partial pressure is 1 atmosphere, no doubt. Then how to calculate? To calculate the partial pressure for first solubility, we have to change this solubility in terms of mole per liter. How to change milligram per liter to mole per liter? So go for first conversion, milligram to gram. Then how to convert milligram to gram? We have relation. 1 gram is equal to 10 raised to 3 milligram, or 1 milligram is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 milligram, and that's why 3.8 milligram is equal to 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 gram per liter. This is the conversion of milligram to gram. Now we are going to convert this gram into the number of moles. How to convert the gram into the number of moles? Mass in a gram divided by molar mass. Here mass in a gram already given, and molar mass for the O2, that is 32, and that's why solubility in terms of mole is equal to 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 32 mole per liter, and that is the solubility in mole per liter. Now here there is use of Henry's law, because Henry's law gives the relationship between solubility and pressure. At constant temperature, solubility is directly proportional to the pressure according to the Henry's law, and so that we can write S is equal to KH into P. S is equal to KH into P. Here KH is Henry's constant, S is solubility, P is the pressure. Here second solubility is given, so put the value of second solubility 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3. KH is not given, so put KH as it is. Pressure at this solubility, pressure will be 1 atmosphere, that's why 1, and so that the value of KH will become 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 mole per liter per atmosphere for this dissolution of O2 in water. That is the value of KH, 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 mole per liter per atmosphere. Now again we can use Henry's law. S is equal to KH into P for the second solubility. Here second solubility is 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 32. KH is 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3, and we have to calculate the value of partial pressure, that is P. And that's why P is equal to 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 32 into 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3. 10 raised to minus 3, 10 raised to minus 3 will get cancelled. And that's why P is equal to 3.8 upon 32 into 2.2. To solve this problem, this calculation, we can use the log of 32. Go for the log of 32 first. Characteristic is 1 and log of 32 is 5051. 5051. Log of 2.2 characteristic is 0 and log of 22 is 3424. Both the terms are in multiplication, that's why there should be addition of log, and addition of log gives 1.8475 value. Now go for the log of 3.8. Log of 3.8, here characteristic is 0 and log of 38 in 0 is 5778. Both the terms are in dividation, that's why subtract the log of denominator from the numerator, and log of denominator numerator is 0.5778, log of denominator is 1.8475, and subtraction gives the value bar 2.7303. Go for the antilog of this value. Antilog of this value gives value 0.5374 into 10 raised to minus 2. On application of 10 raised to minus 2, there will be value 0.05374. Here the third value having greater than 5 value, so that the value can be written as 0.054 atmosphere, and that is the value of pressure for this concentration, for this solubility. So it is very simple problem. We can understand once again. Here the first value is given for the concentration 3.8 milligram per liter. At this concentration we have to calculate the partial pressure of the O2. Second, we have second concentration in terms of solubility, that is 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 mole per liter at 1 atmospheric pressure. Here solubility is given in terms of mole per liter. Here concentration is given in terms of milligram per liter. So convert this milligram per liter in mole per liter. To convert, first convert milligram to gram by multiplying 10 raised to minus 3 gram per liter, and to convert gram into mole, divide by the molar mass of the oxygen. Molar mass of the oxygen is 32, that's why 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 32 mole per liter. According to Henry's law, S is directly P, therefore S is equal to KH into P, and if S is equal to KH into P, put the second values which are given for S and P. So we can calculate the value of KH, that is Henry's constant, 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 KH into 1, that's why KH becomes 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3, and the unit of KH is mole per liter per atmosphere. Then again apply the Henry's law, S is equal to KH into P, where S having value 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 upon 32, which is equal to 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3, value of KH and P as it is. That's why P is equal to 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 upon 32 into 2.2 into 10 raised to minus 3. 10 raised to minus 3, 10 raised to minus 3 will get cancelled, and from the calculation of all this term we will get the value 0.5374 into 10 raised to minus 3, that is 0.05374, that is 0.054 atmosphere. In this way we can solve this for our first problem. For today I think it is sufficient. uh, Go through it, watch this video again and again, and try to solve the second numerical also. Tomorrow we will solve second, third, and as much as more number of numericals in tomorrow's lecture. So have a nice day. Have a nice day. That's all. Thank you.